My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Huh? Yeah.
Why are you kicking it?
What's it got to do with you?
Don't kick it if it's got an animal in it.
Why? It's my dog.
We shouldn't kick it.
Why?
Why would you do that?
It's my property.
It's an animal.
Yeah, and it belongs to me.
Don't kick it.
Why?
But you shouldn't kick it if it's got a fucking dog in it.
It belongs to me.
I don't care if it belongs to your fucking David Cameron. Don't fucking kick it.
I'll kick it if I want to kick it. It's my dog.
Everyone on the street doesn't want to see you kicking a dog.
None of my business what other people think. Why? It's a public place. It's a public place. I can stand here.
You're kicking it for attention.
Kicking it for attention.
Stand there kicking it.
Whose attention am I looking for exactly?
My type of attention.
I'm not looking for your attention.
I'm sure that you.
It's my dog. I can do what I want with it.
Looking for someone to come over and tell you off.
I think you're projecting what you think. That's just simply not the case.
Projecting what everyone else is looking at you kicking a dog.
Yeah, and it's my dog and I can do what I want with it.
Supposed to go off and say anything to you.
It's animal abuse, yeah. It's my dog though.
Don't kick the dog.
I can do what I want with it. No one's going to do anything though. Here, come here. We're filming. It's a social experiment.
I knew that.
There's no dog in the box.
I knew that. I actually knew that was that. I was like,
There's no dog in the
I was
box.
like,
There's
it's
no
a
dog in the box.
I'm so sorry.
I got everybody. My name's Thomas. That's my brother Cliff over there.
I got so angry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Believe me, I hate conflict as well, and I hate those sort of heated communications. So we're actually doing it to see if anyone would do anything,
Yeah.
because most people like
I know, I just
surprisingly
watching
don't. And I was actually getting into our argument a bit, and I was like, I don't need to reel it in here and actually get back to the point of discussion. So basically, the reason that we do the social experiment is to make sure that someone, prove to people that watch this and say some people still do care about shit like that. I have a YouTube channel. I can put you in touch with my YouTube channel and check it out.
What is your YouTube?
Thomas Anonymous. So yeah, for sure. But before you do, right, don't go on it just yet because I want to explain something first. So, would you say that it's wrong if people were to breed animals and do whatever they want with them? Like, say, breed their dog, and like, see the way I was talking to you there, and I was like, it's my dog, I can do whatever I want. Would you agree that that is wrong, just because like they may have bought the dog or even bred the dog, just for them to do whatever they want? It's still abuse, yeah.
Changing like what life is.
Yeah, it's unnecessary suffering, and you'd agree that like unnecessary suffering is wrong. Yeah, respect. So drop the truth bomb on you. We're vegan activists, right?
So that's amazing.
And we're trying to do this to get people to connect that if you think that kicking a dog in a box is wrong, then surely logic would follow on that shooting a dog in the head, hanging them upside down and sticking a knife in their throat and chopping them up into pieces and then swallowing their flesh and shitting them down a toilet.
Oh my god, I should be vegetarian. How many people have you practiced?
So this is the first time we did the experiment. Yeah,
Am I the
This is
first person? Am I actually?
Respect.
What?
Yeah. I was just getting into the character of being a dick, and I was like, shh, kicking it, and I thought maybe I need to be a bit more aggressive. Yeah. I hate all that shit. You're just gonna film it and do it? It's okay. Yeah, because ultimately, like, you know, we live in a meat-eating society where I used to eat animal products. I've been vegan nearly 5 years, and I just learned about the slaughter practices, about how healthy we can be without animals, eating animals, and that's us. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, so like, I don't know how you feel about that. Does any of that resonate with you? The idea of like, if you care about dogs, like you care. You know what I mean? So I just want to break it down. So vegetarians still cause animal abuse because vegetarians they don't eat the flesh, but they may drink dairy or eggs, and every single animal in the industry, whether it's dairy, meat, or eggs, they all get slaughtered. Even the like free-range chickens, when they stop laying eggs, they still go to a slaughterhouse. Probably the same slaughterhouse as all the chickens that weren't free-range.
I'm a chef, so like.
Yeah, you work with like animal flesh and that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, the vegan waves coming in, yeah. But we just, our stance is like abolition. So it's like with any other injustice, say like racism, you wouldn't like accept a little bit, you just want to abolish it completely because it's just fundamentally wrong. Yeah, with animals it's the same, so it's called speciesism. So based on an arbitrary characteristic like skin color or racism, speciesism is just, you're a pig, you're a fish, you're a chicken, so I'm going to pay to have you stabbed and shot and chopped into pieces. Just arbitrary, baseless discrimination. And like, me either. I came into it through a really like hardcore animal rights speech, and it just hit me, and I just decided there and then like I can't do this anymore. I love animals. I had animals when I was a kid, and I was eating animals growing up, and I just didn't make that connection. But I seen this speech, and it made me realize that like, yeah, animals are different to us in certain ways, but in ways like that are more important maybe than superficially, like ability to suffer. We're much the same. You know, like pigs are actually the 5th most intelligent animal. They're smarter than dogs. And in the UK, a third of all pigs are put in a gas chamber, stunned, and then they have their throat slit, and that's legal standard industry practice. So I mean, they don't tell you any of that shit. But I mean, do you think that there is a humane way to like take the life of an animal if they have a preference not to die?
I don't know.
I think a lot of it contributes to it. It's not the mass production of it.
Yeah.
That's what we need to cut down on.
We need to get out of the way.
Say, that's a really great point, like, because it happens in such a massive scale.
Yeah.
But say if, like, no worries, thank you, man. Say if, say we had this, like, fantasy vegan world, right? 99% of the world was vegan, and there was still someone in their back garden breeding animals just to stab them and chop them into pieces. Because it wouldn't be mass scale anymore, would you say then that that's okay, just a little bit of it? Tying in with like the racism thing, if it's wrong, you shouldn't tolerate any of it, you know. So animals don't have a voice and they don't have a platform. Like every human being that has been oppressed has another group of humans speaking up for them. Animals really can't do anything to defend it, and they're so innocent and so vulnerable. They're like child-like beings. They're, you know, mentally, and I just think that they need more people to, because people, you were saying about like veganism coming into the restaurant. We don't want people to think that veganism is this trendy thing to do with diet. It's nothing to do with diet. It's an injustice. So it's a moral, ethical thing. It's just like racism, sexism, all those things.
I never would have thought about it like that.
Yeah.
I thought it's like
A trend. It's because it's sold in the media and people do it just for fads and people chase trends and all that. But really, when you think about like through the eyes of an animal in a slaughterhouse, it's not a nice place, and they're petrified. I can actually show you like a short 60-second video. It's not graphic, if you'd be interested in watching it. This here, right? This is a cow. This is called like a chute, and they're going down to be slaughtered. You can clearly see that the cow like has a desire to like not go down there and want to turn around, but they actually can't turn around. People like to think that it's quick, it's painless, the animals don't feel a thing, they aren't aware of what's happening. But like, they have brains like us, they have nervous systems.
the conditions they're kept in, like look at that.
Yeah.
Disgusting is that?
It's horrible, but even if they were getting belly rubs like 5 minutes before, it's still wrong, you know? Just the act of discrimination and yeah, treated like shit. Like most of the animals that people eat come from factory farms, and everyone's so quick to say factory farm is wrong, but that's where the masses get all their food from. The only reason that they can continue to do that is because they're fed antibiotics. These, so they get an electric stunner and force them down against their will. And what they do, you'll see the cow drop, you know, confined, terrified, and they shoot them in the head. And then they roll out, someone puts a chain around their ankle, hang them upside down, stab them in the throat, chop them into pieces. So that is literally like, that's literally scratching the surface.
I was always brought up because my family's Muslim, so
Uh-huh.
the way they would do it, they get one cow.
Halal, is it?
Yeah, bring
Yeah,
it
yeah,
up on a farm, have a few, not that many, they bring it into their house, they kill it, and they serve it, they eat every single part of the
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
And yes, for me,
They like, it's like a sacrificial honor. Yeah.
It's not getting about thousands of cows.
I get you. I get you.
I'm not saying, and I still don't agree with her.
I don't at all.
Because they only use like certain bits. Like,
Yeah, but see to the animal. If the animal's dead, it doesn't matter if you don't eat it or you use all of it. It's still lost their life. Sorry, I don't like to call animals it. He or she still lost their life. And when people pray and stuff, like that's really to clear their own conscience so they don't feel bad about it. I know it's like tied into religion and stuff, but the animal doesn't care. The animal just wants to live. Just like you or I, if we were in that situation, someone was forcing you down a lane with an electric prod, you'd want to try and turn around and be free. So, what do you think you can do about it? That's sort of the next question.
I'm gonna cut down on meat.
Yeah.
As much as I possibly can. And tell people, spread awareness.
People
Yeah.
want to be vegan, but people should understand that the way animals are killed is just wrong.
I think it's
Yeah.
people don't want to understand going because they're scared of it. Like they don't want to see that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm eating. That's what I'm putting.
100%, 100%.
People need to just open their eyes a little bit and just realize that they need to know. They
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna eat it, then okay, but they need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then they'll maybe be able to realize that no, it's not okay.
Yeah. So you think that, I'm hearing sort of different things. You were saying like people don't need to be vegan, right? Would you take that same attitude with racism? Like people don't need to be like not racist?
I would say that people who eat meat are like, you know, people are brought up, like say people who live on a farm, they would eat meat.
Yeah.
That's their mindset.
Yeah, for sure,
I
for
think
sure.
People who want to eat meat should be open to watching animals suffer,
Mhm.
and if they continue to eat it, then you know, like you just showed us a video of an animal being in a suffering,
Yeah, position.
and it shows us all that it has, you know,
Feelings and a desire to be free.
And
Yeah.
I think that if people can't really grasp that, then it's
Then maybe it's a lost cause sort of thing.
Because
Yeah.
You're able to sit here and be like, yes, and understand it, and maybe see from where you're coming from. But some people around here would look at that video and be like,
I don't even give a shit. Yeah, we get that sometimes. Yeah, 100%. Like, I was, see like 80% of kids, like nursery rhymes and stories, it's all like to do with animals, happy animals, and even like old MacDonald had a farm and all this. Like you're really indoctrinated into sort of subconsciously just thinking that animals are here for us and not like with us, you know, like we're here with each other. But we hold, and we do that with certain animals, like dogs. Like that's a man's best friend. I let my dog sleep in my bed, like because I love him so much. No. You know, but then we like turn around, discriminate to a pig and stick them in a gas chamber and chop them up in the pieces just because they're not a dog. It's like you said, like we've been raised in a society where we just don't embody those values, where we respect animals. But like there's 8 billion people, nearly 8 billion people on the planet. And no, man, it's crazy. Like 56 billion is a conservative estimate of how much land animals get slaughtered in 1 year. 1 year. So, I mean, I don't want to keep you too much. I just wanted to like have a conversation and open up. But if I give you a card, we do like the activism down the street, like you were saying. And what I watched, it made me vegan, was the best speech you will ever hear. And he really talks about it from that justice point of view. You know, like when we consider, like I'm sure you were all like topping up, you know, when the wave came with Black Lives Matter, I was watching like the documentaries and stuff myself. And I just sort of thought like, I'm not tolerating this shit anymore. Like, so we all have this speciesist mentality, like we can't help it because we've been conditioned into it. It's kind of like that low level background racism that's just a part of society. So just be mindful of your own sort of stances on it. And ultimately like now I don't see, when I go into like Tesco, I just see like a row of injustice, like the meat aisle, it's just dead flesh of innocent animals who didn't want to die. That might seem like really extreme, but like what's happening to animals is really the extreme thing, and they can't do anything about it. So, I mean, if you all hang out, I'll give you like a card or two. Please check out some of the resources.
Is there any like petitions or charities or anything you recommend us to look into?
Well, see, to be honest, the best thing that you could do is actually to get active and be an activist. That's because veganism is like, there's an analogy that's like, say I was abusing the dog, right? The analogy is that if you step in and you say that's wrong, right? You're saving that dog. That's what being an activist is. It's actively intervening and doing something to help animals. Going vegan is just sort of saying like, I disagree with that. I think that's wrong, but I'll not actually do anything about it. So, for sure. I didn't even bother with that shit. And it's always the people that do that don't do fucking anything else.
They post one thing,
It's ludicrous.
and then it's just,
Yeah.
it's the same with everything.
Just to save face. Yeah.
That was amazing that they actually got to do that and actually step up to you. But I'm really sorry for like swearing.
It's cool, me too, man. I was sort of, because it was my first go, I was like, how far do I need to take this? Is this guy going to come at me or whatever?
I thought
It's cool, it's cool.
It was a prank. And even
Yeah.
if it wasn't, I did want to say
I actually love how passionate you all were, calling me out in the street, not giving a fuck what anyone else thought.
You're really proud.
So,
Like, your personality obviously tells a lot. Like, you sitting doing this, and like,
Yeah.
shit from us as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's some people out here doing it.
yeah. I mean,
I got past and I was like, what the fuck's he doing?
what's going on there?
Said, like, you know.
Yeah. All you can do is educate yourself, learn, keep an open mind, and like think of it like if you were the animal. You know, you don't want to be like a meal lasts for 5 minutes. You forget about it. You probably don't even know what you ate this day last week for lunch, but that was someone's life. Like if you're eating animals, it's someone, because we see them as things, but they're actually individuals with personalities and families. You know, they have a heartbeat and all that. So I'll just leave it at that. But honestly, going vegan is like the best thing that you can do. The next best thing is being active. If you want to like send me a message on YouTube, if you want to do something or ever come along to activism, just let me know. We're like so happy to have like new members and everything. Respect. Yeah, thanks very much. Cool. And maybe see us around in the future. Cheers. Thank you.